if you think you want to run a business like your own business, you probably should go just be a manager for a company and really see if you got the it factor to say, can you manage the employees? Can you manage yourself? Are you willing to go in when everybody trying to call out? Because you do get people that say, "Hey, boss, I'm sick." They ain't sick. I just saw you yesterday. What happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or
you
like,
come in with a whole new hairstyle. Like, what?
like,
What
you know
is
what I'm
this?
saying? So it's like
Dang.
you learn a lot in each of those positions, and so. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Armand back again with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. Listen, I got a throwback guest. I say throwback just because we go way back. We go back to the NGU days. The podcast, no, I talk trash about NGU, but it's good trash, and we'll go into it. But man, this is one of the guys. Like I look at when you think about a locker room, right? One of the OGs when I was a freshman. Like it was just that one little strip. Like I always wanted to be in the strip with the cool kids. If your number was like you had to have a number starting from 1 to like 27. Like if you had a number in that row, that's where the party was at. It
Yeah.
was him, Freddie, Q Mac, you had Custer cracking up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you had
Yeah.
it was live if you was up there and you just hear him talk before practice, after a game, like it was crazy. And I like I said, I just look at these guys like the OGs, just watching those guys, how they, came to work every day, how they, came prepared. Obviously, we all went through hell, but at least you can go through hell with, one of your closest friends or some homies, and then talk junk at the end. That's how I kind of look at it. But man, this guest, I'm kind of glad I got to have this guest on. He was recommended by Deontay, and Deontay was like, "Man, you got to get Thomas on the show." And I was like, "Bet I could get Thomas on the show, and we can chop it up and just talk about it." But man, let me give y'all the rundown of who I got. So I got Thomas Weeks, age 30. His career and job, he's into business development. His college, the college of choice that he went to was North Greenville University. He has 6 years in his profession. So he's been in his profession for almost half a decade, a little over half a decade. Really has some experience, has some knowledge that, he can be able to spit and give wisdom as we go through the conversation. But Weeks, Thomas, let me let y'all know we call him Weeks. But I'm gonna say Thomas. I'm gonna do my best to say Thomas because it ain't. I don't know if he go by Weeks anymore, but it's gonna be Thomas. And then, but we gotta do two truths and a lie. So we gotta hear it. What you got for me?
No, Martin, thank you for having me on. So you say two truths and a lie?
Yep, two truths and a lie, and I gotta guess the lie.
Okay. My dad was a military veteran.
Okay.
I'll be visiting Dominican Republic this year.
Okay.
And then also too, I'm engaged.
Oh wow. Okay, got you. So I mean, it's between the first two, which is the lie, because I mean we just talked about it. Congratulations, he is engaged. So okay, so we talking about your dad was a military veteran. You going to the Dominican Republic? You say this year?
Mm-hmm.
Dominican Republic. Your dad was a military veteran. I don't know, man. I've definitely seen on Instagram posts, you shout out your pops. I feel like, I definitely believe he was a military veteran. And I'm going to say the middle is the lie, only because it might not be this year. It could be the, beginning of the next year that you go to the DR. Weeks is a traveler, so I can't really say that's the lie because like, my man be traveling for real. Dang, that's tough. Sheesh. I'm gonna say the DR is a lie. I don't think you would put pops in there and lie on them like that. If you.
Yeah, I did. I lied on him.
Oh my
I lied on him.
god.
I lied on him.
So your pops he's not a military veteran.
No, no.
Wow, what a lie, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Okay, cool. So pops not military veteran, but what does your pops do, man?
Actually, man, I can't even tell you. I know he works down here off Fulton Industrial.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you. Yeah. I think quality assurance.
That's what's
Something
up.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Listen, if it makes you feel any better, I don't really know what my dad does either, so it's all good. As long as they making money, that's all that matters. So,
Oh yeah.
but okay, so then talk about the DR. When you plan on going to the DR?
We're leaving next Wednesday.
What I tell y'all,
Yeah.
traveling, it's all
Yeah.
inclusive.
Yeah.
Oh man, you gonna have a ball, man.
Oh yeah.
Man,
I'm looking forward to it.
Have a ball, man. What's some of your top favorite places you done traveled to so far?
I would say Tulum. Tulum was really fun.
Okay.
But really, man, I just really started traveling here recently, to be honest. Where else? I like California. Okay. California was really nice.
I've been to California. Yeah. Just visited California. I love the weather. If I could live out there, like, because I hear like the cost of living and everything is like super crazy, but the weather in California is beautiful. Like, yeah, vibes like no other, man. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, I just love it out there. The trees, Rodeo. You know, in Rodeo, what's crazy is when I went out there and I was like, man, we just got to go visit Rodeo. Not saying I was gonna shop or get anything. I just like, man, let's visit because everybody talk about it. And Rodeo is probably about this long. Like, it's not long at all. Like, the strip, when I was expecting a little bit more, which is crazy. But okay, that's what's up. And then you said you are engaged, so we already know that, and that's what's up, man. Yeah. Well, cool, man. We appreciate that. 2 truths and a lie. So we just gonna hop right into it, bro. The one of the main questions I love to ask everybody is, what did you see yourself being when you were younger? Compared to where you are
now. Professional sports.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. What sport? You always football?
No, it started off basketball. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah, it started Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I seen
and then kind of transitioned into wanting to be a lawyer. Then it was like, sports kind of came into the picture, and it just took, I wanted to play professional sports.
Man, that's crazy. So I did see your Instagram where you did a throwback Thursday of you dunking in high school. I don't know if you was like that or not. You know what I'm saying? You athletic. I just didn't know. Was you averaging 15 and 10, 20 and 10?
Nah, man, I wasn't. I was a point guard, but also I would say I was more of a facilitator.
Okay.
Control the offense, control the tempo. Get the right people open.
So you weren't jacking that boy?
Nah.
Man.
I mean, I throw a little something in there, but I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Defense was my thing.
Defense, got you.
Defense, and I was a point guard. I was a starter, but
got you. And so,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah, keep it real, man. We don't want nobody to watch, and they just Deontay will get in here and he'll start typing and be like, he lying. That man be all in the comments. But that's what's up, man. So we wanted to start it off being a professional, just being a professional athlete. When did you come to when did realization kind of hit that maybe you weren't going to be a professional athlete? Because a lot of Black African American men, we kind of just grow up like, hey, we want to play professional sports. We like the sport for one, but then also the lifestyle that it can provide and what you could do for your family. But at some point, if you don't make it to the NFL, at some point, there's a realization of like, all right, I got to get right. Like, what's a plan B? Because unless you just like, it's only plan A, and that just leads to a lot of mental stress, a lot of mental disappointment. But when did you realize that you was just like, maybe football's not it? And then you just kind of was like, I need a plan B.
No, I think you made a good point. Like, for a lot of us, that is what we look to. Mm-hmm. And I think also too, I tell people a lot of time, going to college and playing football, it'll let you know if you really love the sport. You out there in them summer heat, running, pushing, pulling, running, going through that, pretty much having your schedule. So I think I still love the game, but I think after having to dedicate my whole life, it wasn't, I could see the path wasn't going there. Mm-hmm. I got mono 1 year, so I missed, 7-8 games in the season. Next year, what happened? Broke my collarbone.
Dang, that is.
And so then in that last year, I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to make it through safe.
Yeah.
Get down, get out of bounds.
Like,
I'm just trying to enjoy the moment. But I think after going through those injuries, that really woke me up, and that's when I pivoted from my major was sports management.
Mm-hmm.
Just being surrounded by sports, I think that was something that I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
But after getting hurt, I realized, like, man, I don't even want to be. I don't even really want to be at practice if I ain't practicing.
Right.
So that's when I kind of opened my eyes, and then I started talking to a couple of teammates, Bono, Joey, just kind of talking to them, bouncing ideas off of them, and they kind of just, put me on game, kind of like, hey, look, you can still get the same opportunities that you can get with a sports management degree,
right,
if you got business, but then business may open doors that sports management can't open.
Right.
So I think a lot of the courses were the same, but I think I was able to take a few more courses to kind of give me some more, a different perspective on business.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point as far as like just having people around you to put you on game. How important was that? Like, do you feel like you would have just stayed with sports management if you hadn't had the conversations with those guys, or did you know, like, that sports management was just, I could do something with sports management, but as far as like a plethora of just opportunities that comes with business, did you know, like, all right, I need to probably do the business side, or was it the conversations with those guys that say, okay, let me, kind of pick up and see what they talking about?
I mean, I think I'm a pretty inquisitive person, but I think just like the purpose of this whole show, not being surrounded by, people that have gotten those opportunities, we're not aware. So I think I kind of fell into sports management just based off my surroundings and friends, asking them what they're doing and what I can get. And once I get in class and this football stuff looking shaky, I'm like, okay, what am I really going to be doing? Let's find a plan. Like, let's make something happen. Take advantage of this opportunity that, football bridged me to. So I think it was real pivotal to have those conversations and, just get everybody else's opinion and get perspectives that I don't necessarily have.
That's what's up. And I think, like you said, for the context of the show and everything, just what is it all about. I've had a lot of guests on here, and a lot of them, preach mentorship. A lot of them preach, really looking at your friend group and expanding, outside of just, it's okay to always, you can have your guys, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay to have other friends that's doing different things, because you gain different perspectives, different narratives of what you can and cannot do, or, not even cannot, but just what you can and what options are out there. And you talked about, just being, coming to school and just seeing everybody gravitate towards sports management. If it wasn't for that, let's just say you didn't have that group, or you wasn't watching everybody else, what would you get your degree in? Besides, like, you not knowing about NBA, like your master's or business or none of that. Just like, what do you think you would have came to school to get your degree in?
If it wasn't for business,
like if you didn't hear anybody talk about, the opportunities with business, or, if you wasn't doing sports management because of the surroundings of everybody, because we know, like, a lot of guys did sports management because it was an easier course load. It works well with, your schedule as far as sports. If you didn't have that, what do you think coming in as a freshman, in any college, what you would have majored in?
Probably business.
Just business.
I mean, I think if it would have came down to it and making a decision, it would have just been like general business, because I would have, stumbled upon that net being wider, opportunities being wider. But like I said, just not being surrounded by it, it kind of dampens your perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's really good to get out and see what's going on and be aware of certain opportunities, because you can't tap into it if you don't even know if you're not aware of it.
Right. You don't know what you don't know, so you got to get in there. So talk to me how you end up at NGU, man. Like, picking a school is very important. Like I tell, and this is what I mean. I be talking down. I don't talk down on NGU, and I swear I don't want to. But honestly, I always tell people if I got one regret, it's going to NGU because I feel like I could have, I could have did what I did at any school. You know what I'm saying? But I was so focused. Obviously, they giving you money. And then you just like, man, I want to play. Coming out of high school, I was like, I just want to play ball. I want to try to see if I can get to the next level any way possible. But how you say to NGU?
So like I was being recruited by NGU out of high school. Was going on visits, visited, but still had other schools to visit. And at the time, I wasn't sure, and they kind of got an attitude. So I was just like, I ain't really feeling the vibe, especially when you're going to visit schools, and they're treating you, they treat you real nice when you're visiting.
Yeah.
So, didn't really like their attitude, and I went to Pikeville. So I went to Pikeville College in Kentucky.
Gotcha.
End up going there. The experience was good. Just getting away from home.
Yeah.
But I think the program, I don't want to talk negative about the program, but it was just some opportunities that, I seen that didn't fit where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
The experience of going to like the mountains far away from home where it was like totally different experience. So I transferred back home after my first semester at Pikeville. I transferred home, went to a community college.
Yeah.
And so at that community college, I was doing that, and I was also working at UPS part-time.
Cool.
And so while I was doing that, I got back in touch with my high school coach. We contacted some schools that was reaching out to me out of high school or recruiting while I was in high school. North Greenville was saying everything was aligned. They would love to offer me scholarship, but since I had transferred home that next semester, I would be ineligible for scholarship for a full year.
Gotcha.
So it was like, cool. Went to North Greenville. I had to like walk on, go through that whole process. It was crazy because like just coming in there is like a walk on, like no respect.
Man, it's hard. It's already tough just getting.
And I mean, you got folks like Chastain and Dukes in the locker room, like it was crazy. And so they told me to come on. They couldn't give me money, but I would have to, if I come in and work hard, they would give me scholarship that next year when I was eligible. That year went really well, man. Just going through practice, being a scout team player and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of led me to NGU. And I think from my perspective, I appreciated it because going to Pikeville, I got to see a program that wasn't really, tight with the players and a lot of structure. And I could see guys not really respecting the coaches, the weight room. When you're in high school, the players go away to college, they come back, they swole.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't get swole, man. We in here playing around. Nobody at the games.
Yeah.
So that was my journey getting to North Greenville.
Man, I ain't even know that, bro. So crazy thing about it, I mean, I didn't know you went to a different college in the beginning and then you transferred over, to North Greenville. Like I didn't really know your whole story, and then when I hear it, I'm like, dang, no wonder, because I saw you as a hard worker. I saw you as like, all right, I'm here to get this work done. I'm gonna have fun while doing it, but we gonna get this work done. Let's get it over with. That's the type of person you was. Like, if we got 15 110s, okay, let's get this over with.
Hey, let's get it done. I think it altered my perspective. And I mean, like, my grandpa had to pay for my school for a year. Like, it was crazy. And then like the coaches, they end up leaving. Like, that coaching staff that was there, we made it. This is Willie Corn was there. Yep. We ended up making it really far up into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then like the coaches just leave and contact us on Facebook during Christmas break and saying that they're going to Delta State, which is the school that put us out the playoffs. And I'm like, damn, like, my scholarship we've been talking about, what's going on? The new coaches coming. I'm like, hey, we had a deal in place, and like,
right.
They're like, well, you're gonna have to earn it. So like, Sean Wright, was starting and stuff. So it was a long process, but I ended up earning that scholarship over that spring, the spring when coaching them came in.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy to hear that. And then kudos to you, like, for being able to. But then, like you said, the perspective that you had, it was like night and day difference. So I guess you could appreciate North Greenville a little bit more than how other people were, because you get these people fresh out of college, fresh out of high school. Obviously for one, they think they the man. They think they gonna come in.
Everybody. All of them.
We gonna come in and start off the bat. Like who gonna stop us? But you had the perspective of, okay, I saw a bad program. Now I'm coming. I'm trying to just get on the field and play at this point and earn my scholarship. So your whole mind frame was like, y'all playing around. I'm here to get this money, so I ain't got to pay out.
Yeah, but I mean. Yeah, and then also too, I mean, when I came into the program, dude, like it was a well-oiled machine. Yeah. Like Coach Chadwell, Willie Corn, Isaiah, like Sean. There was a lot of dudes, like it was a lot of good players that like kind of set the tone, and it was like taking a lot. It was taken very serious. And it was a lot of passion.
Got you. After those guys graduated, did you see a difference as far as like the passion?
I would say I don't want to be controversial, but I'll say I think the just being transparent.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Just being transparent. I feel like the level of talent then was different when the coaching staff changed. Like Coach Chadwell and them about winning. Like like the running backs that we had, not saying nothing to do, not hating on none of our running backs.
For sure.
That finished up, but like the ones that came when maybe because I was also a freshman too,
right?
But the ones we had, like they was real, like Rug, Marcus, like them boys, like it was like it was crazy. And like like Dukes and them, like there was some dogs, like it was really like But I feel like the program kind of, got tightened up, and nothing to say bad about our coaching staff, but
I feel you. I just I heard stories about Dukes, and like obviously we see Dukes, he built up, you know what I'm saying? Trap house, come to the trap, but I just want to get your perspective because I didn't see Willie Corn or all those guys play. I came after that, and all you could hear is we went deep in the playoffs. In which we actually did the same thing they did, or y'all did, just at a different time. You know what I'm saying? We went third round into the playoffs, got busted by Alabama, and got sent back home crying.
Hey, it's all good though, man. Like at least y'all was able to accomplish that, and that was like what? That was when you was that your senior year?
It was my senior year.
Yeah, so you went out on top. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. But man, back to you though, man. So cool. That's how you ended up at NGU, which is I did not know. Great story. Yeah. How important is it though for kids that's coming out of high school to pick a good college? Because I would say college is supposed to be like the best year. Supposed to be the best 4 years. You're getting out the house. But how important is it to pick the right school for you?
I mean, I feel like coaching can go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what's important.
Okay.
What's important to make the right what makes the right school for you.
Okay.
And I would also say be more open minded. I was telling my fiance the other day, I was like, I feel like I cling to, the football team or a lot of people that have similar interests to me.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, I'm like, could have put a little effort in, being around people that wasn't necessarily so similar to me. Yeah. A lot of similarities. I feel like it's just, I've done a lot of it and it's been open-minded. Yeah. I opened my mind so much that I just like that was, could have done that in college when I was surrounded by people that wasn't like me.
Yeah. I think that, I definitely agree with you, but I also feel like our environment brought that to us. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about the type of school we went to as far as, private, white dominant college, the black people we the sports. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a lot like us, and we always tend to gravitate to, to the group of people that we feel like we can connect with. Even though that's not good, I just wish, Greenville as a whole, like if we could have just, like you said, just been a little bit more open-minded, reaching out to, different groups of people that was there. You know what I'm saying? We could have been put on game other different ways as well too. But we kind of just
Yeah.
stuck together like a little clique, cult, whatever, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
But
and I think I would have. I think, saying things could have been different. I think it would have. My mind wasn't in that place at the time, so I didn't even try to initiate that or even get that started or see like, because what does that look like?
Right. That's true. That's true. I mean, I look back at it and say say the same thing. So that's what's up. So we went to North Greenville, did our thing there, played ball. We graduated. Last year, we just like, hey man, I'm just trying to be healthy. I'm just trying to see this thing through. You see it through. Graduation time comes. What's the next step for Thomas after graduation? Like, what was your mental like? Did you have a job waiting for you after you graduated? What was your process like? Because everybody's process is a little different. Some people wait. They go through that period where it takes them 3 months to a year to land a job that they want, or some people have it right after after college. What was your experience like?
Yeah. So I had an apartment on campus.
Yeah.
So I graduated in December. My lease wasn't up, I think, until like March. Mm-hmm. And so just while I was in school doing some traveling, during spring break and stuff, I know I wanted to be in Atlanta when I graduated. So my lease was up in March of the next year, 2016. So after that, I just packed up my car. My dad stayed here in Atlanta, on the outskirts in Gwinnett County. Yeah. So I just packed up my car, went back to South Carolina, my mom's, for a couple of days. I was like, I'm going to go. I told my dad months ago that I was coming. He was like, pull up, just come. I went home. I didn't unpack the car at my mom's house. And I was like, I'm going. A couple of days went by. I had to go get some clothes out the car, take a shower. And I was like, I'm not unpacking this car here. Yeah. I had a plan. So I just, next day I just drove out to Atlanta and stayed with my dad and, just kind of getting acclimated. I went to the gym to work out, just kind of trying to get my mental health right.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm in a good place mentally. Start working out, got a membership at the gym. I couldn't afford a membership at Lifetime at the time. So right. I'm like, are y'all hiring? And then maybe I can get in and do some work and maybe slide to another role or whatnot. So I started off as a janitor.
Okay.
Started off as a janitor. I tried to talk to them about moving into the sales. They said it could take some time.
Right.
And then, good friend hit me up about FritoLay. I actually interviewed for the sales rep position. They called back like 2 days. Mm-hmm. And offered me like a management role. Asked me if I was interested.
Yeah.
So, they set the interview out like a month out. Yeah. So I was like full-fledged FritoLay prep, getting ready for the interview. Yeah. And, was fortunate enough, blessed, and got the opportunity. And, that's kind of where I started my career.
Dang, that's crazy.
And got to Atlanta.
So
I was just like, look, I got to get to Atlanta, man. I can see a lot of people that look like me, in a lot of places and positions. So
yeah,
when I was in school, started waking up, I'm like, okay, make sure I'm in the right position.
Man, that's kind of huge. I mean, the progression is huge. At any point in time, did you feel down on yourself? Were you what I'm saying, like, because we talk about somebody that has a college degree. You know what I'm saying? And you moved to Atlanta. I know, you just wanted to get out there. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted, if you knew that if I was in the space, you was going to make it happen. But, going to, being a janitor at any point in time, did you ever mentally feel like, down on yourself? Were you always just like, hey, this is only for me to get something going and then I'm going to bounce up out of here and I'm on to the next move? Because a lot of people wouldn't take that step. You see what I'm saying? Like, some people wouldn't, humble themselves to say, look, I just need a job to get me through because I know my destination is way farther ahead.
Yeah. I definitely took it as like it's a stepping stone. It's an experience. Yeah. I mean, I think I got so much out of it, man, because, I was able to see how people treat you when you have that janitor outfit on. Yeah. So that gave me, I feel like it was perfect for me to get that position right before I went into a management role at a Fortune 50 organization. Yeah. So it kind of gave me that perspective of like, this is, this title don't mean that much. Don't let it go to your head.
Right.
So yeah, I think it was just I took it as a stepping stone and just keep my spirits high, stay positive, stay prayed up, working out, trying to keep everything balanced and
Facts. I mean, that's what you got to do
everything
sometimes.
fall into place.
That's what you got to do. You got to slow down and speed up. So, I mean, and I think a lot of people don't have that type of outlook or perspective, on the, when they going through a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't go through situations for nothing. I don't believe so. I always believe like you go through every situation and you can learn something through each situation. Just like you said, hey, I know how it felt like to be the janitor. I know what people look like. I used to be a janitor, but and going through college, you know how it is. You got to go back home, get you some money, get through the next year. So I'm like, all right, I became, I was the janitor, cleaning stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the feeling of like, dang, like I'm really, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with it, right? But it's just like, man, I know it's something bigger out here for me than just being, a janitor. And as long as you know that and you keep the perspective, like, this is just my stepping stone, but what you get out of it is like the respect piece. Like, I always try to treat everybody with the same respect. No matter if you own a company, manager, janitor, you still a person at the end of the day. So like you got to give people that same respect. And so I like how you really talked about just the perspective on how you took that position and you made you learned a lesson out of it. Because it's a lot of people that done had to do that, but they embarrassed to say like, yeah, I was, I had to be a janitor for X amount of Z. Like, okay, so what? You was getting paid, you was getting fed, like you was living your necessities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You wasn't out on the street, so you take it and go with it. But talk to me about the importance of your network. Because you said a good friend hit you up about FritoLay. Is networking something that you take pride in, as far as like every time you meet somebody, just making sure you make a good impression because you never know what could come out of it, or is it, it's just a natural instinct for you?
I feel like it's natural, but I would say like definitely, like I said earlier, coming out of school now, looking back, is like, maybe I should have went to go hang out with those folks over there that's in computer science. Maybe not too many people on the football team are studying that. So I think we clicked together because we all had the same schedules. And of course we like had a lot of things in common. But I've come to realize, your network is everything. It's all about who you know, who you're surrounded by, but also too, I feel like you got to put the work in, and you got to make a good name for yourself. If say you're gonna do something, do it. Hold your word. I feel like that carries a lot of weight and help you within networking.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, that's
because and then also I don't feel like I answered your question. Yeah. So yeah, I had a good teammate hit me up. Trey Thomas just hit me up. Me and Bean.
Yeah.
We me and my good friend, we're moving out of our apartment. I'm like packing up my car, getting ready to go, and he called, moving out. He's like, "Hey man, what you doing?" I'm like, "Moving." He's like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "Atlanta." He's like, "You got a job?" I'm like, "Nah, man, something will work out. We're gonna figure it out."
Thanks.
He's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something. Hit me up." So I hit him back. He was telling me about FritoLay. I did work at UPS on the truck. So he's like, "You might like something like this."
Yeah.
I was like, "Cool." Like, apply it, and good Lord looked out and they offered me a manager role. And I was like, man, look at this.
Man.
I would have never, I didn't even know all of the brands that fell under FritoLay. Like, didn't have a lot of information about FritoLay, but just him planting that seed, I feel like, helped move some things around, open my mind to it and, be like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because it's moving us into the next piece of the conversation. But back to Beam. Beam actually, when I was working at Verizon in Spartanburg, he used to drop off packages. I used to see him all the time, and he used to be like, "Yeah, man, we going out. We about to take this trip." Da da da. Like, man, y'all hold it down, man. Y'all be good out there because I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? He used to drop the packages off.
He would tell me he met you and y'all were talking stuff. He told me a few times.
Yeah. So it was good seeing him, man. He a good dude, man. So I'm glad he's doing good. But going into FritoLay management, like, talk to us about what do you do as business development within FritoLay. What do you do? What does your role consist of right now?
Okay, so There's been a change. So I started my career at FritoLay.
Okay.
You know, I've jumped jobs a few times, but I'm no longer at FritoLay.
Okay.
I started out at FritoLay, and now I'm in business development. I've been in this role for maybe 3 months now.
Got you. Okay, well, let's talk about FritoLay first.
Yeah.
What, when you was at FritoLay, and we don't even have to talk about the position. Talk to me about what you learned at FritoLay, because you talked about the plethora of like brands that are under FritoLay. Like, how many brands are really under FritoLay, and like, what all did you learn at FritoLay?
I mean, dude, I don't have a number, but yeah, it's a lot of brands. It's a lot. I would say in the role, like I said, from the piece coming from being a janitor, understanding the role, because going into this role, I was leading a team of like 25 people. Some of these people have been at Frito-Lay 30 years. You know, I'm 24 years old. They've been at the company 30 years. They've been at the company 15 years, 20 years.
Who this young dude right here? He ain't gonna tell me what to do.
Yeah, with his iPad, got his little college degree, gonna come in here. So I feel like it gave me a good like grasp on coming in and kind of being more aware. Mm-hmm. But also too, just learning how to work with people. I think I was able to manage a team and facilitate a huge operation. Just the communication part.
Yeah.
I think just logistics. A lot. I learned a lot. I feel like hopping into that position helped me grow professionally and, personally a long shot. Yeah. Just the responsibility that's put on you, and, it's a machine.
Yeah.
So it's information coming from everywhere, a lot of high expectations.
Yeah.
So being able to manage that and trying to facilitate that operation was bringing a lot of the experience from football and watching how coaches and people lead and understanding what type of environment I thrive the best in, and try to create that environment for my team while also understanding the business and pushing the initiative.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I've been in, I started as a sales rep at Verizon, went to management, and some of those same skill sets that you talk about as far as like creating that atmosphere, creating that culture is like a lot of people would call it. You wanted to be one of the top coaches. I think the hardest thing for me, being a manager was the age gap, right? It's all good, bro.
Yeah.
It was the age gap. And it was just talking. How do I talk to people that's 35, 40 years old and to get them to do, get on the company's page? Or it's not my narrative. I'm not the one that's wanting you to do this. It's like, this is what the company wants. And they're not trying to listen, and you got to give them the message in the right way. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little difficult and kind of what you spoke on. But then how long were you at FritoLay, and then how did you end up in the transition that, you are in now?
Yeah, so I spent my first 3 years at FritoLay. I left there for a few months, went to a startup.
Okay.
Didn't really, things weren't what I thought.
Okay.
Ended up, going back to FritoLay and getting a promotion. I was in that role from February 2020 till last year. I left in December.
Okay.
Of last year. Just like I said, learned a lot, but also too was starting to be exposed to different opportunities out in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And, just wanting to go out and explore those, get experience that could help, better put me in a position where I want to be long term. So I think transitioning to sales, get more experience with sales tools, certain sales tools you use, I'm pretty sure
like
you're familiar with.
Salesforce, little stuff like that, little programs that companies use to keep the funnel of sales ongoing, and having that experience to, because it translates between all companies. Like if you are part of a big company and you using a tool, I'm pretty sure you can go to a different company as far as sales, and they're using the exact same tools, and
same thing.
You be able to talk towards it. So that makes sense. But my bad. Go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I was saying I wanted to go get some experience doing that, and I went back. And I really enjoyed what I was doing, like leading people. How I was able to kind of set the tone, like you said, like I was more in the leadership roles. I was able to create the culture within the confinements, that are allowed. So went back, that was good, but then just looking long term, seeing where things are at, you know, a lot of, you know, different things. FritoLay is a great company, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't, you know, a good fit for me looking at where I'm at in my life at the moment. You know, and looking long term.
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
you start realizing that, you know, certain things are important, you know, more important than others. You know, work-life balance, time with family, things like that are more important than, you know, a paycheck.
It is more important. Mentally, I think it's a little bit more important. I was just talking to my boss, one of my boss's boss today, and he was asking me. He was like, because in the company, right, I'm on a little speedy trajectory, which I think you were on that type of trajectory as well. Like it didn't take you long to go from you didn't even go to sales, you went straight into management, and then was able to get that promotion. Couple years later, I don't know the correlate the timeline, but
yeah, time.
It just looked like you moved at a very rapid rate and was able to progress, as much as you wanted to, within the company. But he was just saying like, once you start moving super fast and you get accustomed to like, okay, what's the next move? What's the next move? It's only so far you can go in certain companies, right? And he was just like, sometimes you need to take your time in a position to maybe learn it, become a master of that, and maybe take you 1, 2, 3 years in that position before you say, all right, now I'm on to the next. Because as you keep going up, your time gets it gets taken away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you start trading that time, for your family or what's really important. And he was just like, man, you really got to think about that, and you got to put it in perspective. Like, what do you want with your wife or your with your kids one day? So I'm just like, okay, got it. I need to slow down. But for me, it's like, I mean, as an athlete, you still kind of have that competitive nature, and you just like, you want to get better. You know what I'm saying? You want to move up. You don't want to be stagnant. So it's like
Yeah.
you fighting that urge to like, keep fighting. But it's
Yeah.
like, what's important to you? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, family, the time, that work life balance is super important. So what right now? What do you do currently?
Currently, I'm in business development, so I'm a
Okay.
sales rep at a marketing and advertisement company.
Okay, got you. And then what does your day to day kind of consist of, and what really brought you to that position? Like, what did you like about the position?
Um, so it's a sales role.
Okay,
I'm pretty much engaging with new customers and bringing them through the entire sales funnel to close.
got you.
Um, yeah. So what brought me there? I mean, like I said, working at FritoLay as a leader, being in that role, 50 plus people reporting to you, 50 plus large retail accounts, really wanted something with more work life balance and realized that I wanted to be an individual contributor.
Okay.
And more so be able to be responsible for my own, because I was able to accomplish some really good things at FritoLay.
Yeah.
My third year there, I was the #1 district in the zone out of 25 districts. I was ranked like in the top 10% of the nation. So I feel like it was brought a lot of that football attitude of working hard, working early, working late, just sacrificing a lot for the greater goal. But then, I've realized also too, working in an environment, sometimes you can be working with others that necessarily not be aligned and want to go as hard, as you want to go. And but then also too, I got to a place where I feel like, okay, I see that this works, but like, is this sustainable? And it's not. You can go, but then I start getting frustrated.
Yep.
You know, so I wanted to be an individual contributor. So I just left. I left FritoLay with no job.
Nothing.
Like no other job lined up. We planned it out. Saved us some money, but
Yeah.
Was able to just, I was looking, and when I wanted to be an individual contributor in a sales role, and
That's dope. I mean,
have more of a work life balance, and I feel like I'm a different person,
yeah.
Without all that stress on me.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy because that's for the birds. I'm gonna tell you that now. When you got the mentality, especially when people not on the same page as you, and you willing to go you know what I'm saying? You willing to show that you willing to put in the work. But most people, to be honest, most average individuals, they like, look, I'm gonna look out for me and mine. It's kind of like off what's the movie, man? The football movie, whatever. Custer used to recite that line so much.
Custer got all the movies.
Bro, Custer used to be like, team? What team? You know what I'm
saying? Custer got all the movie lines.
Hey, no cap.
At any moment.
And when you said that, I'm thinking, all I think of is Custer. I'm like, what team? Like, and as a manager, you do, when you are part of a team, you do, kind of everything kind of does rely on you. I think that's when you realize that, you have to be accountable for not only yourself, but the group of people that you manage. And it don't even be your fault. Because you like, I told them to do X, Y, and Z. I don't know why they not doing it, but now I gotta come down on you because you don't want to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a headache. And you come home, you be frustrated. It ain't good for people that's around you because you dealing with work stuff when you off. And it all boils down to the work-life balance at what you mentioned. And it's just crazy because I'm an individual contributor now, and I find I have a little bit more peace about myself because people not coming to me saying, "Hey, what's going on with such and such?" It's more or less like they coming at me, but it's like, okay, I can fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if something go wrong, they not calling me after hours saying, "What happened?"
Man, I'm sick. But like, dude, it's crazy because at FritoLay, man, the business I was managing, it runs 24/7. Like, it runs every single day. Christmas and Thanksgiving are the only days that they don't run.
That's terrible.
So, and then when you go, when everybody's around spending time with family, that's when we sell the most.
Yep.
So, now, everybody at home with their family, they ain't called out sick all year. Now, Thanksgiving even, hey, boss. Hey, boss.
Yeah.
So, no, it was good, though, man. I feel like the whole experience at FritoLay was really good. I learned a lot about myself. Like I said, I grew, professionally and personally. Great company, I think, helped me look at business in a total different way, and understand a lot of gave me a perspective on how, these big companies run a business, and how on point a lot of things are.
Yep.
So it was a good experience. I know I said a lot, but I don't want to leave it and make it seem like FritoLay was bad. It was a great experience.
Nah. We know that. We know it ain't bad. Like, I think we all know, like, every job gonna come with its issues, ups and downs. But every company that the companies I work with, they were great companies. Like you said, FritoLay, great company. But like you said, in those positions, you learn what you like and what you don't like. And that's all it is. It's just trial and error. And so for us, doing the podcast, it's like telling people this is what you're going to have to deal with if you want to be a manager. It doesn't matter what you manage. It could be Fortune 500. It could be, you can have your own little Dollar General on the corner. Whatever you managing, you report to somebody and you in control of somebody. So I tell people, like, if you want to get into if you think you want to run a business, like your own business, you probably should just be a manager for a company and really see if you got the it factor to say, can you manage the employees? Can you manage yourself? Are you willing to go in when everybody trying to call out? Because you do get people that say, hey, boss, I'm sick. They ain't sick. I just saw you yesterday. What happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or like,
you come in with a whole new hairstyle. Like, what?
Like,
what you know what I'm saying?
So it's like you learn a lot in each of those positions. And so I appreciate you for even, explaining that and going to us. Because, like, right now, we at the kind of the tail end of the conversation, man. And I think, you gave a big perspective as far as everything that you kind of been through. I think everything that you've been through earlier in life, as far as, like, just taking at your football journey, you learned a lot. I think, and I'm just saying for you, like, for me, I learned a lot in my high school journey, and I took a lot of perspective out of that journey. You know what I'm saying? I took the perspective of you can be high and you can also be low. Coming in as a freshman, starting next year, you sitting on the bench, you riding up, you sit in the bench, but you playing a little bit, but you're supposed to be a star. You feel in your mind you're supposed to be a starter, because you're naive, right? Because you're not really looking at the technique. Like, are you focusing on your technique to really do your job the best way? And after I removed myself from football, I was like, I probably started and played most of the games due to effort and just hard work. But if you look at, like, the technicalities of just being technical, being, assignment sound, I probably wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? But I had something that a lot of people probably didn't have, which was I'm willing to fail 100%. I'm gonna fail fast as I don't know what, 100%, and I'm cool with that. I'm not embarrassed by it. It is what it is. But stepping away from it, you understand, like like how it is when you start as a freshman, then to come back the next year, you like, boom, you know what I'm saying? Like you just that's very detrimental to your spirit, your soul, and you feel embarrassed. And to grind that out and then have the best year your senior year to be a starter, go deep into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something you learn from. Same way with your experience, going from seeing a bad program, also going to a good program, and then earning your way back into the ranks of I'm a scholarship guy. I'm a starter. I'm playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing on the field, fighting injuries. It's a lot you can learn through all of that, and I hope everybody that was listening just picked up on the gems along the way, as far as the story, and really, the gems about the different careers that you have, as far as just the positions, what's important to you, as far as work-life balance. How do you get that work-life balance? What does that look like? I think it just comes down to what's important to you. If you're not a family-oriented guy, then you could probably work, and sacrifice some of that on the back end. But if you want to be around your family more, think about the positions that you take and what you go into before you take them, because you don't want to, I try to save people the headache, man. If we can hit the wall for you and save you from hitting the wall, then by all means, like that's what we're here for. But Weeks, man, I got one last thing I always do is I got 6 questions. You got to answer 6 questions under 5 seconds. All right?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, 5 seconds. You got 6 questions. After that, the conversation is done, my man. I'm going to give you back the rest of your night. You and your fiance can have a great night watching the little Hulu. I see it on the back. You know what I'm saying? Watch a little Hulu and just relax and have a good night. And then also, as we play the game, if you can think about a recommendation, bro, I always do recommendations just to keep the podcast going, to get a different perspective, a different story, to show people the wide ranges of people, dark skin, light skin, tall, skinny. You can do it all. It doesn't matter how you look or how you come, but just be thinking about that recommendation. And I'm gonna read out these questions for you. All right? All right, cool. Here we go. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna do this one first. All right, so you got 25 hours in a day. How do you spend the extra hour in that day?
What? We got 25 hours.
So think about it. Instead of 24 hours, you got 25. How do you spend the extra hour? What would you be doing?
Damn.
You said what?
Yeah. I said, hold on, man. Like, man, I can't even tell you, man. That's a good question.
Man,
probably. I say probably resting, man.
Resting? Okay, cool. Resting. Some people say eating. Some people say traveling, talking to their family. You get all different kind of answers.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. What's the quality people enjoy about you?
I'd probably say I'm honest.
Gotcha. Honest. Do you ever get in arguments because you're super honest? Like people don't know how to receive that?
No, I feel like I got a good grasp on
how to lay it on
the range. I've come a long way since college. Bro, I've come a long way.
Weeks, man, y'all used to have some heated debates, dog. Like,
oh yeah,
going in, and I just be like, all right. Cool.
I think that Frito management helped me reel it in.
Reel it in?
Realize it's ineffective.
All right, so what's your, speaking of Hulu, what's your favorite TV show to binge watch?
Right now, I would say All American.
All American? Okay. How you like it?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah. I really like it. I feel like I can relate a lot to it.
Yeah.
I feel like I can relate a lot to it.
That's what's up. I love All American. I've seen pretty much all the seasons. I don't know if it's one premiering now because I just wait till they come on like Netflix. So I don't know.
I probably. Well, I guess it's not. It is. Well, it stars Power. I'm a big Power.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I don't watch them all. I'm up to date. I'm up to date.
You like Tommy series?
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I'm enjoying them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing them all.
I think nothing's gonna be like the original Power, like the first 6 seasons. Like Ghost was just a different breed. But I hope his son can
He,
tap into that. Because if he can,
yeah,
I think I might like Michael Rainey's a little better. Like if he can tap
yeah.
into that, Ghost was a different breed.
I wonder if it's something behind something underlying with that, with Ghost and everything. If it's something going to come back around, if Ghost is still living, I don't know. I've seen some memes and stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
I just don't know
I
what
don't know.
I don't know where they would take it though. Like if Ghost was alive, what would he be doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause Tommy in Chicago, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I If I'm spoiling, I'm sorry, but I just I don't know how Ghost fits in the series anymore.
I feel like that's the power of Ghost.
That's the power
like,
of Ghost.
That's the power of Ghost. I'm like, I don't know.
That's a fact. Know. That's a fact, man. Who your favorite character? Would you say Ghost or somebody? You got somebody else?
Yeah,
Ghost.
Probably Ghost. Yeah,
man, I'm a fan of. I like Tommy for some reason, man.
Yeah, I like Tommy too. He a real one.
He a real.
Tommy
one.
real.
Loyal.
Tommy real.
Loyal to the core, but some of the same stuff that Ghost was preaching to him, and the regular, he trying to in the new series, he trying to preach it too. So it's crazy.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Okay, so if you could time travel, what period would you go back to?
Interesting.
I've heard some good answers from this one. Great answer.
Let's see. Time travel.
5 seconds is definitely up.
I don't know, man. Oh yeah,
but it's okay.
I don't know. I feel like my fault.
You
I feel
good?
like,
you good.
I feel like I enjoyed it. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't say maybe 2 or 3 generations above.
Okay.
Above. I think it would help me understand a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be dope. I'll tell you what I've heard. So I've heard going back into the 90s as an adult, like early 90s, like versus being a kid, just being an adult. I've heard let's go back to when we were, kings of Africa, like before, slavery and stuff like that, just to be able to see how we lived or the culture, how he walked and things of that nature. And I always thought like that was probably by far one of the best answers I heard, just because I can, if I can imagine if we all saw what we were before, slavery, right? Or, before knowing who we are, where we come from, we would have a lot more unity, a lot more, we would walk with a lot more power, in certain situations. So I think that would have been dope. And just like you said, 2 to 3 generations before, I think for me personally, I definitely take civil rights for granted. Just wanting to see how they, cause you hear stories about, the KKK and it's real, and it's just I don't want to be a part of that, but I just I want to feel the emotion or be, I just want to feel it so I have I want to respect it more, because I feel like as you get older.
Well, if we're going that deep, I'd say probably, before be around in America before Christopher Columbus came over here.
Okay.
Yeah. But see what it's like before he was over here.
I got you. Cool. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. All right, we got 2 more. What's more memorable to you, movies or music?
Music.
Okay. Music. Makes sense. I get some people say movies. I'm a movie guy versus the same thing. Yeah. Same thing that happened to y'all with music, it happens to me with movies. Like if I watch a movie, I can hear people talking. I'm like, what? You know what movie that's from? I can hear a song. You know what movie that's from? Like I could tell you everything about the movie, and it just brings me back. So, facts. All right, last one. What's something / activity you can do every day besides sleep?
Say that one more time.
What's something / activity you can do every day besides sleep?
Talk to myself.
Dude.
I mean, damn, I don't know.
Like you don't got a hobby, anything that you enjoy that you would want to do every day.
Yeah, I think maybe travel. That would be my top pick. Yeah, travel. Because I mean, everything. I feel like I've come to a point now where I realize everything needs a little balance.
Yeah.
So nothing that I would just want to overload on, because then I would move on to the next thing.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, that makes sense, man. Well, appreciate you, man. That was it. So these 6 questions, man, I appreciate you so much, man. Thomas, it means a lot to me that you was able to hop on the show, man. I'm glad I was able to just chop it up with you, man, and see your face, man. It means a lot just to be able to see people I used to kind of kick it with, you know what I'm saying, be a part of, the team, because you'll never let that go. The group of people you played ball with, for those 4 years, you remember that. And so it's just good to be able to see you, man, like just to know that you're doing well, that you stand up. And like I said, I appreciate you for just even hopping on the show, man, because you didn't have to. But I think it'll help a lot of people just understand, the good and the bad, as far as like just work-life balance and just different positions that you can take and things that you'll learn from them as well. You enjoyed it, or was it bad?
No, man, I enjoyed it. I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for inviting me to come on. Yeah, I really like what you're doing and helping, spread some knowledge.
Yeah, that's the goal, bro. That's the goal. Who you got for me? Your recommendation?
Let's see. Q-Mac.
Q-Mac?
Quantel Mac.
I gotta get the Q dog on there.
Yeah.
We got to get him. That's what's up. Okay, I'll reach out to him, man. I already got his number and everything, so I'll just reach out to him, holler at him, and get him on the show, and we'll do it like that, man. But other than that, bro, you have a good night. Tell the fiance I said hello, and you guys be safe and well. And if you need anything, just hit me up, man. Let me know. If you ever in Houston, if I come to the A, I definitely got you. I'll just hit you up and just say, hey, man, what you doing, and see where you at, man. But you have a good one, bro.
You too, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, man.
All right.
All right.